I can bring up the applause bot. We haven't been able to use the applause bot in a while, but I think tonight with a brand spanking live audience is the perfect time to bring it back. So if it gets out of hand, I'm going to turn it off because you guys have clearly proven you do not know how to be responsible with the applause bot. But we can make some noise. We can make it hype. Hang on, I have to authenticate. So for those who don't know how this works, when you type, for example, PogChamp into the chat, it'll bring up some clappy sounds. Yep, there you go. You hear a couple people in the background. The more people who chant, the more people who PogChamp, the louder the claps, the louder the cheers. So when a really cool moment happens in the game, don't do it right now. You guys are testing it. Of course you are. Okay, well, there you go. But when a really cool moment happens in the game, I want you guys to PogChamp the fuck out of this, okay? So I'm going to turn this off manually right now because y'all are doing it to test it. I get it. It's just going to scream and be annoying. I'll turn it on in a few moments and silently when like something dies or a drop happens or somebody gets something cool. That's when I want you guys to spam PogChamp because it makes it so extra cool and extra hype. And normally we can't use this because of the 2-minute stream delay. But since we're kind of cheating around that tonight, we can bring back the applause bat for a little bit. How did Taiwan versus Scarlet? Asks Dr. Gianni. You know what? I think Scarlet just played really poorly, to be honest with you. But he's feeling very confident, very chatty, very friendly. And I said it before. I'll say it again for this VOD. Because hi, YouTube. Thank you, Will. This is actually a really tough matchup for Time. I know Time's a good TvT player because again, the first time I ever saw Time, he beat TY. Like that for me, put him on my radar. But Cure is, and I dare you to prove me wrong, the best TvT player in the world, in my opinion. So, whether it's small Reaper engagements or tank positioning, you bet he knows how this works. All right. Kind of funny watching the SCVs trade off for one another, but this does stall out the command center. Now, for Cure, this didn't have to do a lot, but it did have to keep the Reaper alive, so his follow-up poke here would be just as good. But this kills another SCV. Time down 2 workers is objectively not that crazy. Oh my god, 2 SCVs, let's all lose our minds! But this puts his command center down, significantly further behind than Time would have liked. This is good because Cure started his command center much later as well. the solo clap to nothing going on. It doesn't sound like clapping is the worst part. Anyways, if you guys like this bot, Fear Dragon is the mad scientist who came up with it actually. And we've been having some fun with it here and there. Yes, Fear Dragon, bravo. Round of applause for Fear Dragon, right? Now this attack, the line of sight, line of attack matters a lot. High ground's huge, but lining up the Hellion shots is huger. So this trades out very well for Cure. Not like game-ending damage. Oh my god, you guys are nuts. Not like game-ending damage, but this was a good early game win. Okay, now you've got an example of what the bot, this is a taste of what the bot can do. I can manually curate it a bit if this gets a little too ridiculous. Like, yeah, you guys are going nuts over nothing. We're gonna shut that crowd down for a sec. We'll bring it back in a moment. But anyways, really nice engagements out of Cure at every step of the game so far. He's not winning definitively, but he's winning every small scale engagement, which looks really good going forward. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually just gonna reduce the amount of PogChamps to 2 per person. There you go. I should be able to leave it on freely now and not have the one-man clapping spam. Because now even if you put like 100 PogChamps, it's only going to register the first 2. So it'll require a bit more crowd effort to make the crowd go wild. Oh, catches the medevac. This is nice. Cyclone possibly. Oh, locks on. Got to keep that high ground vision. Gonna lose the high ground vision, but second Cyclone comes in. This is where you PogChamp. Losing that medevac is huge. Cyclone to Cyclone is going to be an awkward trade as well. High ground's big for Cure. But unfortunately, that wasn't that crazy of a trade out. And once again, these 2 deflect. Oh my god. We're live with no stream delay, and you guys still managed to be a little late. Okay, anyways. Again, it's a display of dominance from Cure, right? Every time these 2 clash in small scale engagements, Cure walks away victorious. Sniping off that medevac was huge. But the reason I bring this up is not to further brown nose Cure, but to actually compliment Time. because Time is disengaging from these fights and not losing to an immediate counterattack, and he's setting up and he's not losing his footing. So the Raven's gonna be a little bit frustrating to deal with for sure, but all in all, Time has held his ground pretty well, and the fact that he continues to deflect Cure is impressive. There are 2 Ravens at home, and 2 Ravens can probably hold off what's coming. Interference Matrix or not, auto turrets have been really brought back into fashion, and I think this really coincides with when they made the energy cost for Blackout a little bit stronger. Excuse me, Interference Matrix. It's got such a dumb name. Can we just all agree? Can I just call it Blackout? It's easier to say, it's easier to hear. I think it's more obvious what it does. Like if I say these 2 words, Interference Matrix and Blackout, I think one is more inherently obvious as to what it does. Am I alone in this one? I won't force the issue, but I'm just curious where you guys sit on this, because I hate it. I hate how long and convoluted the name is. Disagree, you're alone? Okay, I'm in the minority. I accept it. I'll never try and bring it up. I'll never try it again. We'll just go with the Interference Matrix, Madoodle. What was the one in Brood War? Lockdown. That was a good one. I wish they would have brought back Lockdown, because it is effectively Lockdown without the stun, and so much cooler to say. Scrambler missile. Yeah, can we get some scrambled eggs there on the front line? 10-4. Over. Oh, Zareen, you're a pleb. StarCraft 2 is where it's at, my dude. Everyone's free to like Brood War, of course. I'm not shaming. But I'm just saying, if you like Brood War, you probably have a tiny dick. Enough about me, though. Stim is finishing up for both players, and it's going to be bio versus bio. This is actually incredibly refreshing because I've been watching so much mech in TvT recently. I like bio because it comes down to tank positioning, but still has emphasis on the air battle. And, oh, little bit of a spiky spike. That was an in-game lag that time, at least, not Twitch related. Guess our toast isn't tasteless of tiny dicks. Yep, you heard it here first. Make sure you clip that and send it to Dan. Definitely don't look through the sarcasm, okay, guys? Take it at face value. In fact, it might even be better if you clip that and title it Rifkin Hates Brood War and post it on Reddit. Then you'll get all the upvotes because Reddit hates me. So that's how you maximize context out of context. This is actually a terrifying attack. Cure loses the fight in the middle of the map, and I was being sarcastic, so I unfortunately didn't comment much on that, but this is really, really worth noting because the Vikings land with auto turret support. Vikings with their bonus damage to mechanical are going to kill SCVs so quick, but this attack might just kill Cure. The tanks have interference matrix, anti-armor missile land on them, so they're weakened significantly. Vikings land back at home for Time. He's pulled SCVs into the fight. He's lost 12 something workers. It's well easier said than done. If Cure can hold on back at home, he's secured a massive lead. Oh my god, the officers are killing tanks too. Okay, well, all the defenses for Cure, Cure in the natural, it's not many. Vikings focus the siege tank. Siege tank sets up barely to fight back against the Vikings. Marines getting destroyed from the tanks on the low ground. Oh my god, this Viking's still standing? Are you kidding me? This is the reverse Screwlander plays. The reverse Screwlander maneuver. Of course, Time is replicating that on the front lines. And maybe, just maybe, I'm believing this young Chinese kid about being the Chinese Bian. But guys, this is getting pretty nuts and pretty out of hand. That Raven finally goes down, reduces the amount of future attacks. Glad you guys are enjoying it. But this is not a one game for either side yet. However, Cure is losing ground, and this command center almost dies. Sensor tower sets up towards the third base. He's been steadily mining while this goes on. It's not like he totally lost out, but I do want to highlight that Time actually has the fourth base while this goes on. Oh, he's gonna get caught out here in the middle. Marines going down, leave the tanks kind of abandoned. Rather than get obsessed with the siege tanks, auto turrets come down and SCVs get pushed away while Marines move into that fourth base. Well, third base, excuse me. I love that he sent one Marine forward as well, making sure that the rest wouldn't be caught up in the tank fire. Turn that off, please. It's annoying. Oh, I'll tell you what, you donate $5, I'll turn it off right this second, dude. All right, goes back to mining. I mean, time's been disrupted quite a bit this game. Still down in workers, but he's up a base. So that might start equalizing in about 5 or so minutes from now. But, you know, economic gains in StarCraft and differences, they take time to really dilute and show through the army. And right now, the army supplies are actually still pretty close. I do like Time's army a lot more, though. Not just because of the siege tanks, but because of the Vikings. $6 to put it back. Oh, shit, there's 500 bucks. There's 500 bits to keep it on. Easy peasy. In fact, I might even turn up the volume a bit now. Thank you. This Raven continues to be such a nuisance. I love the way he dodged around the missile turret. We have a drop in the main base, double drop in the main base too, no less. Time's economy is being wrecked once more. Make some noise, guys. If he gets that +2, it's hype. He doesn't get the +2 though, so don't make any noise. Everyone shut up. I told you, we got too many people here. Leave. Oh, the Cyclone gets the lock on. Medevac is gonna die. Forget the Pog champs. Can we get some Fs to pay respects? That was a big snipe. That was a full medevac. But still, the army is positioning down here from Cure, and he's not giving up through this. 4th base is on the way too. Nearing-ish completion. Fucking Terrorine. Even I'm not that much of a shill. Not in this situation. All right, this quad drop comes with 4 siege tanks. This finally gets on top of the production. As anybody knows, that's the Achilles heel of almost every good Terran player. Drags and drop on top of the tanks as well. This is a planetary. It won't be so easy to break, but he has to pick and choose. Defend the planetary or defend the main base. Time's really stuck between a rock and a hard place. Double interference matrix takes down 2 of the siege tanks, but the remaining 2 siege tanks still take out most of the Marines. Oh, this drop is getting cleaned up. Cure has his barracks is burning. That might not even get saved at this point. Goes to the other non-planetary base, no problem. This should pick up some SCVs. And that Raven, I forgot, still in play. Auto turret, auto turret, auto turret. No, anti-armor instead. That's not a bad move. Anti-armor amplifies the damage these units take, so even these Marines will deal more damage to Vikings than normal. Wants to give chase, but as you see, it was a greedy move. Loses his siege tank, loses his footing, but he still hasn't quite crushed Time just yet. Definitively now ahead, both in economy, upgrades, tech, and army. Time's gonna have to pull a miracle out of his ass if he wants to win this. There's just so few Marines. He's charging in, he's trying his best. It does let the siege tanks set up, and that's cool beans, but still down a base from this. GG finally gets called, and Cure secures victory. But this time, I need you to actually spam your Pog champs. Build me up these hype intros. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning here in the top right side of Eternal Empire, it's the one and only Chinese Terran. He went toe-to-toe. It's Time. And his opponent in the bottom left, one of the best Terrans, period. It's Cure. All right, guys, simmer down. Ah, it's Cure. He's so fucking hot right now. It's ridiculous. Well, let's force you guys to simmer down. As we get into this game, of course, game number 2 of this semifinals. If Cure locks this down, then it goes all the way to the grand finals. But I will say this for Time. I liked a lot of what he did that game. He didn't have a lot of definitive wins, and to be honest, that game went kind of as expected for me, with Cure dominating. It's Cure. It's a TvT, best in the world. But Time matched him in a lot of fights, in a lot of timings. And frankly, I would like to see a very extended series with these two, like a best of 5 or a best of 7. I'm so sad that this is a best of 3. I know many of you out there who watch StarCraft 2, it's kind of like very blasé about mirror matchups. I feel the same way too, don't get me wrong. But TvT is definitely one of my favorites, and especially when it's 2 players who are really well matched. And while I don't think Time is on Cure's level, I bet your butt we do a longer series, and this is closer than what it looks like right now. Either way, good to see you, Milk and Cookies. Thank you for the 55 months, dude. And welcome, everybody, to the only actual live broadcast with no stream delay for the ESL Korea Cup. Reminding everybody, there's $100 winner take all on the line. A little bit of those ESL points as well. So it's definitely worth these guys' time to play. I do wish they would have split it up though. Personally, I would have liked to have seen this be like a And even if you want to make it heavily one side, like a 90-10 split, like it feels really bad that second place doesn't get anything for the same amount of time put into the tournament, right? But it is what it is. There's 3 of these to go down every week. Of course, I rarely cover the Europe one because I'm never awake, but the next one is tomorrow for North America. I will be here for that, providing I don't wake up sick and dying, which sadly nowadays seems to be more often than not. iHacks 101, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, by the way. Boops me, boop you, dude. Ha ha, so much time invested. Hey, chat, I'm actually hosting an after party after the stream tonight, but it's only for people who have trouble ejaculating. So let me know if you can't come. I think that's enough silence. I have to give that a little bit of a lead before I get back to normal talking. They're both pushing at starports, and frankly, I don't think we'll see something rushed out like a Banshee, but Vikings are still a very important part of this matchup. This poke at the ramp, though, will actually go very well for time. It's so important Kira walked away from this. He was going to lose this fight no matter what. He knows it too. But the difference of losing it and pushing the Reapers out of the base versus letting them unfetteredly attack your mineral line was being close enough for the Hellion to fire or not. So this was actually a really, really good position for Kira, despite being out of position for the start of this. And chasing in. He wanted to get the Reapers before they healed up, but now he's vastly outgunned. And frankly, might be in some trouble here. Tries to get the damage split. Really wants to chase that Reaper. You can see Time teasing him with it too. He really wants the kill. There we go. Not quite first blood, but you know, a bit of a monster kill. I don't know what that sound was. Oh, it was Stream Raiders. Terror Ring just purchased our mage boat head. I hate, you know what? If I could go back and do it all over again, I would not pick the boat head for our skin, but I'm not too regretful of it either. Thank you for the for buying it. What if Wardy is just ripping doing a British accent? Oi, mate. You got £3, 40 pence. Looking to buy some tea, governor. All I'd have to really do to really do a good Wardy impression is be very tired from casting long hours and auto follow a Reaper until it dies. I'm guilty of it too, by the way. It's a bit of an in-joke there between casters. But as these Hellions are poised out at the front, he should be able to hold this. The Raven especially, that siege tank, I don't think stands much of a chance. Yep. Forces us into the medevac, and even if anything unloads, hell, a siege tank unsieged actually has some of the highest, not the, but some of the highest single target damage in the game because it has a very fast rate of attack. But as you can see here, it's still taking a little bit of pepper and some SCV damage. So ultimately, Time can't stick around for too long. Please never do an English accent again. I was not doing an English accent. I was doing a British accent. Okay, it's a difference. I feel English is more regal, more pure and refined, whereas British accents are like a bit more cockney. I don't know. Is that just me? I'm Canadian. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't even do my own accent. I can do a Canadian accent for like 10 words and then it slowly becomes Jamaican. I don't know how it happens. Or Irish and then Jamaican. There's no consistency. I'm a hot mess. You know what is a cool trick though? I can teach everybody watching right now how to do a British accent. Some of you won't play along with me, but those who do, you'll get a laugh out of this, okay? There's a very famous British actor named Michael Caine. He was in the Batman movies as Alfred. You've seen him in countless other films. He's got a very distinct, very recognizable accent. I can teach you how to do a Michael accent in 2 words. So say it out loud if you want to play along, and if you don't, then you don't like fun. What is the opposite of your cocaine? Why, it's British actor Michael Caine. It's bio again, by the way, if you haven't looked at the production tab, and we have +1 weapons on the way for both. But realistically, it's not so much that it's bio, it's a lot more that it's tanks, right? Because tank positioning, Viking air coverage, the eventual Liberator insert to the battle, it doesn't really matter that it's bio. It could be bio or mech. The pivotal units in this game tend to be the Vikings and the siege tanks. Oh, wow. The double auto turret drop saves the Raven temporarily. Well, with 7 HP, I don't think it's destined to stick around for about 11 run-bys like it did in game 1. So, rest in peace, dear Raven. It's actually heading to the main. It actually hasn't been killed yet. What? Okay, he took all the Vikings to the front lines. I don't know if this was an F2 or a mistake, but if that Raven gets any amount of auto turrets off in this game, that's just extra damage that should have never happened. I regret subbing. Yeah, me too. Okay, interference matrix. Wow. Okay, thank you, whoever that was. One moment. The interference matrix temporarily takes the tanks out of the fight, but you see, are you kidding me? This Raven's gonna fly over the Marines and die. I swear to God. I swear. No. Mapu. Oh my God, that Raven is Private Ryan right now. Are you kidding me? This is so epic. It actually flies past the Marines. Wait a minute. If this Raven comes in and drops an auto turret on the siege tanks, oh my God, you bet we're turning the PogChamp bot right back on. It's a maximum volume right now, guys. It's rejoining the army. Please don't just get nothing done. Here we go. 7 HP. This boy. Do anything. An auto turret snipes the opponent's Raven. Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God. That's so sick. They can make a movie about this game. They can make a movie about that Raven. But the third base has still been displaced. Don't get distracted by the cool things and the hype that happened through that Raven. Cure's still in a bit of an odd spot. And he kept a lot of the SCVs alive. 66 still in play. And as long as he's out of position, he's going to have a lot worse mining. But time is putting the pressure on this tank, guys. And damn it, I tried to avoid the pun. It just keeps happening. I hope he repairs that Raven, by the way. I think he did. That Raven is so hype. Now, memes aside, this is a third interference matrix. This is another anti-armor. This is another auto turret. This is a unit that will hopefully help him defend. His time's attack is right up on the edge of his base. He's losing reactors already. He doesn't have any means to displace these tanks right now. And his own army is not holding up against this drop. Where are those Ravens? Riders from Rohan coming in from the south side. Auto turrets on top of the siege tanks. No interference. Wait a minute. Interference? What the fucking interference matrix? Uses the opportunity to go with the Marines, splits these forces up in half. This does collapse, and this does look doable. And 2 of the Ravens still stand. This is huge going forward, by the way. No Terran players remaking Ravens as the game goes on. So the fact that it's 2-1, yeah, Cure's heavily disadvantaged. The third base being displaced and the 20 workers dead. But those 2 Ravens are so bloody powerful for what the counterattack might ensue. And I don't know if there's enough energy to cast more interference matrix. He used a lot of energy on the defense. But if he can, you're gonna hate me for this. If you can black out those tanks for even like a few seconds, there's not many tanks in play. Time just lost them all on the attack. Someone's pointing out the Cure forgot combat shields. Oh no, did he? I haven't actually looked. We'll see when we go back to the Marines. If he actually forgot combat shields. No, he's got combat shields. You're dumb. I hate Twitch chat GMs. You guys never know what you're doing. I got so excited that someone pointed out such a monstrous moment thing, but okay, 2-2 nearly done. No one has a weapon advantage for this fight, but Cure has the concave, so works out a bit better for him. Hopefully not gonna get baited into siege tanks. Is the stream glitched or streamer? Wait a minute, what? Everything's good on my end. Let me know if there's any problems, guys. We had technical problems already today, so I'm a little paranoid. I'm a little on edge, to be honest with you. You also had to refresh? Oh, that sucks. I can't do anything about that, though. As long as it's not graphically glitching. Like, if the stream itself glitches, that's on Twitch. I can't do anything about that, but... Cool. Income advantage to time. Not to be unexpected. The third base was delayed for so long. Delayed for a second. Definitely drop frames? I do have some drop frames. Okay, so that one... Okay, we'll look into that in a minute, guys. That's probably because I'm using the VPN right now. But more on that later, I guess. This is the weirdest sensor tower I've ever seen in my whole dang life. But let's really talk about what this the orange goo does, right? If you don't know how anti-armor works, everything painted orange now has -3 armor. This means if you have 3 armor, you have 0 armor. But more importantly, if you have, say, 1 armor from your upgrades, you can go into the negative. And if you have negative armor, you take bonus damage from all sources. Now, Time waited out the anti-armor, as he could not push with that on his units. Cure has a massive marine lead, but he can't push into those tanks like this. It's a tough position to be in, but I don't think Time can push up the ramp either, so there's a little bit of freedom for Cure, just to focus on macroing up for a moment here. He's down in supply after all. What's really cool too, so a little bit of extra knowledge about the anti-armor. Let's say you're doing team games at 2v2. As you all know, hallucinations from Protoss deal no damage. But there's a bug in the game that works with anti-armor, where because it makes them take more damage from all sources, even a unit that deals no damage suddenly deals damage to units that have anti-armor on them. More on that in a bit. Here he goes, the blitz from the backside, catches the siege tanks, and he breaks the attack despite being down in supply. You're so fucking good at TvT, guys. Oh my god. Now, he's not exactly in a winning position from this, right? Time, he still has a 4th base. He's above Cure in that regard. But the armor supplies have equalized. The tank count that was the advantage now gone. He's even giving chase pursuing. I don't know that I love this, because this is a lot of stim packs to chase, but still pursues this and keeps Time from getting any kind of snowball effect this game. That was pretty pog. Well, then give me those pog champs, guys, because we got the cheer pot on. Make the most of it. I don't use it very often because YouTube actually really hates it. I don't think we've had more comments of distaste in our whole history of YouTube than when I used the applause bot. Oh, this Liberator sets up really nice. SCVs are pulled away. Yeah, definitely worth the golf clap. But the attack towards the 4th base still ensues. I mean, there is a 4th command center for Cure, but no actual 4th base set up. High ground is huge. That's a planetary. That's a penis. No, sorry. That's a planetary. So Marines alone are going to struggle to break it. Income continues to excel, but you know, income leads to more army. So even if Cure doesn't have more income, but he's taking better army fights at every turn. I mean, look at the resources lost. Cure's only behind 1,000 to a player who's had significantly thousands of more minerals to work with. A very impressive game out of both. To be honest, even though you all know I'm cheering for cheering for Cure, I'm actually cheering for a little bit now Time. Because well, game 1 went, I think, as expected. Oh, Time's changing things up for game 2, boys. Look at that production tab. That's COVID reactor. Not to be confused with COVID-19. We're not gonna have, wait a minute. Are Ravens fueled by 5G? Sorry. Anyways, it gives more energy to Ravens, meaning he's looking to build more than one Raven. And I said earlier on in the game, nobody builds more Ravens in the game. And nobody does. But they are so powerful that if you've got the freedom, I say go for it. So we see 2 Ravens in the production tab. Command center, the natural gets denied. Straight up killed. No chance to recover. I guess this has been mostly mined out, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, Time making moves. You're looking for some payback. He'll catch this army unprotected. 1 siege tank. Good luck defending this. More SCVs are dying. I guess there's a Liberator. It looks like set up down to the south on the minimap. But this up to the top is far more important than that one Liberator. That Liberator can kill an entire base of mining. It doesn't matter. This breaks. This is the end of the game if this breaks. Can someone actually do a quick Google for me? Is the Raven upgrade COVID reactor or oh, it's Corvid reactor. I see it on the right side. Never mind. Okay, we're safe. It's not. It's Corvid-19, not COVID-19. It's all good, guys. There's a big attack from Cure coming up the south. They've got equal army supplies, but the armies are very differently sized in their positioning. Possibly a sandwich move, possibly just a flank into the natural. There's siege tanks set up though. This won't go well. Birds aren't real. I mean, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? I don't think pigeons are real. Just giant spy cameras set up by the United States government. GG. Cure dies, which means Time ties up the series 1-1. Okay, well, we're back to it. Welcome to game 3. It's the ace match, and the scores have been tied up 1 apiece. Bottom left, it's time. And top right, it's cure. Excuse me. Top right, it's cure. Whew. Anyways, I'm turning the applause bot off. It was just for one game. It was for funsies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun thing to bring back once in a while, but it definitely does get annoying. I missed a big donation though, because the heat of battle just really things got nice. But Maple Leafs, my Canadian brother, hello. Thank you for the $28.45. He says, finally got a live stream. Been a while, so showing gratitude. Keep up the dope content. Also, thank you for giving me a fat discount on the 3-year Nord package. Been looking for a VPN and finally been really enjoying their service. US Netflix is so good. I know, they get different shows, but you know what? US Netflix gets so screwed. I didn't even know this. I've been watching Avatar for years on Netflix in Canada. And I went to the US one, and of course I wouldn't look for it, but I saw an announcement. They're like, oh, May 15th, Avatar finally comes to Netflix. I'm like, wait, what? And apparently the US hasn't had, this is real, by the way. The US hasn't had access to Avatar The Last Airbender on their Netflix because the people who own it at Nickelodeon thought it would do better through DVD and get this, Blu-ray sales than on Netflix. So now May 15th, everyone get excited because Avatar is finally coming to Netflix in the United States. Now, honestly, The Last Airbender series, even though I know Legend of Korra got a lot of blowback. Oh no, not again. I mean, we maybe have some Twitch issues, guys. We'll look into this if it keeps up. Even though I know Legend of Korra got some blowback to it, I loved the Avatar series. It's easily one of my favorite shows. The kind of westernized anime style is so enjoyable, and I love the story. So yeah, anyways, look, I'm gonna do a shameless shout out because NordVPN is the only reason we're able to make the stream happen tonight. My Canadian IP was having nothing, like Twitch just was having none of it. So we are currently actually VPN'd into the Eastern United States so I can bring you the games. I know it's not the perfect quality, but wouldn't be possible without them. So !Nord in the chat if you want to check them out. 3-year deal, 70% off. It comes out to be about $3.49 a month. We don't have a lot of sponsors on the channel. I like to keep it a little bit chill, a little bit relaxed, but they are one that have been supporting us for a few months, so check them out. The stream is stuttering again. Okay, well, there's not a lot I can do about that right this second, guys. I can look into it after this game because we can maybe restart the stream, but other than that, like I said, Twitch is having a whole bunch of having none of it with me tonight, so we'll have to wait to take a tweak out with it. But we will adjust that after this game, maybe, or at least try to refresh it and see if it works better. But yeah, I imagine you're seeing some stream stutters just because Twitch is being a bit of a unreliable piece of something tonight. Oh, it's a Banshee opener, by the way, from time. Sorry, I've been getting caught up here just looking at the production tab. Banshee openers are not unheard of. In fact, they were really, really common. Do you guys remember when Innovation like first started pumping out 3 Banshees and everyone's like, wait, what? I don't think it's that good. And frankly, I think Banshees are pretty easy to shut down considering Ravens are a huge part of the metagame. You know, most people are gonna have at least one Raven in the matchup. But if you get it out fast enough, time gets across the map, probably plucks off some of those workers. Thank you, Mapu. That was... Yep, nothing's died so far this game. I'm sorry, I just enjoy moments like that because I know Mapu is a very intelligent person and he's one of the people who did do all the main observing for WCS over the years. And I'm like, what do you want me to talk about with this? There's been no engagements whatsoever. Of course, there's nothing lost yet, dude. Oh, this Widowmine's gonna get an excellent pop-off. Good reaction how to cure those splits to minimize the splash damage, but now aware this attack could be game ending. Time has to take this very seriously. His Banshee is going in across the map and he's not pulling back with it. That's gonna kill some SCVs for sure. Or is it? Oh, gets caught by the Marines of the Cyclone. Oh my god, Cure is so sick. Handles the Banshee, no problem. Main attack pushes off the command center. This could turn into a soft contain without overcommitting, and even this damage alone is enough to get him small leads in economy because he didn't have to pull his workers running away from that Banshee. He jumped on the Banshee right away. Poor Appa. I can't look at that right now, Shrient. I'm sure it's probably hilarious though. Oh, that pickup was Gucci, but the interference matrix stops it from happening again. That said, snipes off the Raven. Cure's attack is over, but he's managed to get ahead in a couple of different ways. Now, Time does... Oh my God. The Overlord trick. That was so cool. Oh, these guys are so quick to think on their feet. Time does have a third base coming down, but it's not on location. So in that regard, a little bit behind towards a third. Also trailing a few workers. That's the result of the early game damage. But realistically, you're going to see Cure pull further ahead. Give it, like, what timer is this? 6 minutes. I'm going to say 8.5 minutes. You're going to see a as long as nothing crazy happens, you're going to see a very definitive supply lead for Cure. Like right now, it's pretty close. Right now, I wouldn't really think much of it, but that's where the income's going to really start kicking in. And in fact, with the auto turret harass, oh, that almost kills a Cyclone. Auto turrets are so good. You can't ignore them, man. Kills almost 3 SCVs. Man, if that killed 2 SCVs in the Cyclone, that would have been so baller. I hate playing TvT. This matchup has so many things like what we just saw where it feels like bullshit. I can't play it. In fact, it's to the point where I just auto leave because I enjoy it so little. But man, do I love watching people who are good at it. I don't know if y'all are like that or not. I know a good chunk of you are because we've asked this question before, but I love watching players who are good at the game. I love watching players more so when they're good at something I'm specifically bad at, because I comprehend and understand every aspect of how TvT should work, but I can't execute it for jack squat. So I end up doing proxy Thors and dumb meme builds, rush battle cruisers. But watching these guys pull this off and play so perfectly off of one another, this wasn't some pre-calculated thing where he knew the medevac would get low in the middle of the map. No, he saw an opportunity, hit it above the cliff. Like, smart players making sick reactions. I love watching StarCraft, guys. I'm sorry. I could gush over this all day. It's so dumb. But I think I'm preaching to the choir, so we'll shut the fuck up and keep on with the game. As there's a little bit of pressure, but I said was an 8.5 minute mark. We're going to see a more defined income difference. With the auto turrets, it actually speeds that up. So rather than 8.5 minutes, closer to 8 minutes, we're seeing Cure nearly up like 20 to 30 supply over time. But it is worth mentioning that so much, because it's Zen and because of the base layouts, there's going to be a little bit more emphasis on air, I feel, this game than the previous ones. Not to say that they're going to go pure air. I mean, TvT eventually goes a lot of air, but in the early game, we're already seeing both players make a lot of Vikings. Is the stream lagging a lot? Yeah, guys, I can see the drop frames. I'm feeling for you right now. I can't do anything about it though. That's an internet Twitch thing. So I gotta just keep carrying on as usual. I love your faces, and I'm sorry it's glitching for y'all. Anti-armor not gonna land. The Ravens actually get picked off very quickly, but the auto turrets going down help a ton. Now, look, we just talked about auto turret damage. We should talk about the micro that just came out of time. It wasn't good enough to kill Cure's army, but auto turrets have the stupidest amount, like the highest priority for some reason in game. So if you ever just let a unit auto attack, you've got an Ultralisk in front of your face, or there's an auto turret to Africa, your unit will try to target the auto turret every single time unless you tell it otherwise. So Time, granted, didn't kill the auto turret, so they just kind of got to wail on his tanks. He also chose to target fire the Marines, thus killing a lot of the army that Cure had. Worked out really well. You want all tournaments to be like this? I hope you mean the quality and not the lag. I'm sorry, guys. Now there's a pressure going outside of time space. The mineral patches make this a little frustrating to break, but Marines do push through. It's really, it's not just about the tank, it's about the Marines. I think Cure may have overstepped on the other side of the map. Back at home, he's gonna have to pull some SCVs to defend, which is never fun to do, but necessary. Because without those SCVs, breaking that tank was a lot less likely to happen. But still, even though he can't push in and kill, he has managed to take control of this ramp, something that Time will struggle to seize back from Cure. And look at that supply difference, by the way. Here we are, 9.5 minutes in, 140 supply for Cure, barely 100 for Time, and Time's not supply blocked. Drag and drop on top of the siege tanks is a good move. He tries to land the Vikings on top of the siege tank, not realizing there was a backup siege tank though, so that didn't work out for him. Cure makes a bad engagement, but still maintains a pretty noteworthy lead. In fact, the 4th base coming down on location as we speak. I think I can help with the lag on my end, guys, but like I said, it's going to require a stream restart, which I really don't want to do with 2,000 viewers. That's going to feel really bad losing them all. But I will after this game's done, because I want you guys to have a smooth experience. time. Marines to the north aren't really finding a way in, but still a soft contain. Oh, there's that lag. Soft contain kind of working out as he just keeps time from being able to pressure him. I mean, I'm not directly in game right now, so I can't access, but I would love to look and see when the last moment time was across the map was, because the Banshee early was weak. There's been no Ravens flying around the corners. He's been on defense the entire time, and that can't be fun. That's gotta be so frustrating knowing that your opponent's just always ahead of you by one step. Is the clap outro? No, we turned it off. It was just for that last game. It's just for some funsies, guys. I might bring it back for the finals for a game, but it definitely gets annoying if it used too much. Oh, I love this. Random supply depot looks random, but random supply depot scouts. Seeing the Liberator coming, 2 Vikings are in position. This is an easy dispatch. I only point out the lag because they're on a competing VPN service. It's 100% not the VPN. If you guys weren't here in the first hour of the stream, we were streaming initially without the VPN and it just wasn't working, period. I think what's happening right now is I've got the bitrate set really high and I can afford to turn it down since I'm not directly in game, but I can't do that while I'm live. So we'll do a quick stream restart and that should help fix some of the lag issues you guys are seeing. Why stream with the VPN? Because I'm from Canada and Twitch isn't, and it was like, no, sorry, we're just gonna lag a bunch. You can't broadcast this. Like, it's not important, guys, at all. The semantics don't really matter. We just know that I can see you guys. I'm dropping frames. We'll look into a solution afterwards. But if we keep talking about it, no one's gonna talk about the StarCraft, and then suddenly it's base trade TV classic all over again. Oh, who wins this fight? I'm gonna say time. But that's because I said it slowly, so it sounded like I would call the winner no matter who it was. Those are the big brain plays. Actually, who was QXC was always really guilty of that, I think, in his casting. He would draw out the fights like this so he could call the winner as time winning that fight. And I'd be like, dude, we know what you're doing. You're smart. We get it. This drop in the main base is pretty solid. That's a lot of Marines. The tank's also got a good spot. Uses the tank so he can get away. Focuses the SCVs. Oh, kill the... Oh, I don't know if he's gonna go for the upgrades. I would love to see him target the +3. Shutting in upgrades would have been monstrous. You can't make up that time. There's no Chrono Boost. Cure loses a lot, but keep in mind, Cure can't afford to lose a lot. With 81 workers and an incredible income across 5 bases, there's just no way Time on 3 can keep up with these trades. Whereas Cure can throw body after body after body, lose fights, and still end up being ahead. Also, I just want to put on the record, I'm not hating on QXC or anything, guys. That was just a funny thing I always remembered about his casting. You know, like he'd be, on the WCS stream and just dragging out these calls, and I'm like, just make the call. No one cares if you're wrong, dude. Things are a little spicy on the front lines, maybe too spicy for Kira. A lot of his army's up north wrapping around, so it wasn't here to intercept the army. Now realizing, wait a minute, this is a bigger problem than he gave it credit for initially, has to respond. But the beauty of this response is it's going to come in from behind. So a back attack on top of the siege tanks, a flank in 3 ways. He's not in a great spot, let's be honest, but he's going to collapse on every angle and try to crush Time's army. This is Time's real last big army, by the way. He's so starved on the limited bases he has. This might just be where it ends. It is where it ends. GG. Cure takes the series, and we'll move on to the grand finals.